a lot is when you're just reading it for the first time.
Yeah, hitting the start button.
All right.
Let me know when.
Yeah, I hit it.
All right.
Have y'all watched any of the Overwatch 2 beta?
No, I've been waiting for my favorite
I watched
girl
about an hour.
streamers because I need to simp.
I think that's over
I
now.
mean,
The Twitch bounty is over.
yeah. I can watch all the YouTube highlights.
Looks pretty fun. It'd be interesting with the price point because it looks a lot of the same, with just game tooting and 5v5.
Yeah, which is what they said they were doing when they
Yeah.
first announced Overwatch 2. So
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense.
If it's like
Jared, are you in the Zencaster room?
oh no.
The answer is yes. He is.
He is now.
Yeah, I'm in there now.
That's what matters.
Yep. There we go. I clicked on it and then I just clicked off the tab.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
I think what kind of desk you got, Jared? You got like an L shape or what?
Yeah, I got L. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and is it like a regular tabletop or just like particle board? What is it?
It's shoot, what is this? There's like a board inside of it, and then like a really tight piece of like plastic going around everything.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
all black. I think
Yeah.
Nina got it off of Amazon.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Um,
I've been thinking about just making one out of like a butcher block
yeah.
because things clamp better to it, and the way this one is, it only has like a half an inch lip on it. So like clamping like the arm for this and stuff, it only has like a half an inch of clearance of clamping. So I'm like, if I get a butcher block and just legs, I'll be able to put stuff in better places.
Yeah.
Jared, I still have that arm, that master mount thing for you. Next time you're in, I'll hook you up with it.
Okay.
Oh boy,
I'll be in Mother's Day weekend.
Okay.
I'm a little jealous.
It should be perfect because it has like the screw at the top for like, you could put like a stand on it for your webcam, or you
For
could
activities?
probably, yeah, just different activities.
Ooh.
Man, I really need Phoenix to win because I've been talking a lot of smack to Denim.
Yeah.
I think I muted that chat. Are you in Divinitizers?
No, the other one.
Okay.
And also in the sports thing in the Discord.
Okay. Yeah,
Usually
I'm not
Usually
I'm
I
not in
just
there,
go
so I'm good.
in. Usually I just go in, drop some heat over the course of like 3 or 4
And get
minutes,
out.
and then I just get out and check it again the next day, and he just starts arguing with nobody.
Yeah.
Listen, I wanted to move the team to Vegas because that's the only way Louisville's getting a team.
Yeah. That's it. That's already happening, man.
Oh, yeah. I know a team is getting in Vegas, and then there's a team in Seattle. But if somebody would try to sneak in and move their team there before they do an expansion team,
Yeah. I don't. What would be the? I have it on pretty good authority that that's not the case. You can take that as you will. That it's not going to be an expansion. It's a new team to Vegas.
You mean a team's moving to Vegas, or there's an expansion team?
No, it'll be an expansion.
Yeah.
An expansion.
Yeah.
Yep.
What I'm saying is like that's the only way Louisville can get a team if a team moves there before an expansion team goes in.
Yeah, I think that the issue is like if they do Vegas and Seattle, that's 2 West Coast, like 2 Western teams. So if they do that, they'd probably have to move Memphis to East, maybe, is what they would do.
Yep. Yeah, that's my guess anyways.
Because the only reason
My guess
Memphis
also.
is West, the only reason Memphis is East now because they were in Vancouver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, is there anybody west of Memphis that's in the East though?
I'm gonna be real honest with you, Jared. I'm not sure if Chicago is west or Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's right.
I'm not sure if they're more west
I think they're in the
than
central.
Memphis. Or not.
They're both in the central time zone. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But that would be the two that immediately came to my head were the Bulls and the Bucks.
Dude, what do you think this top 10% emblem, the drama it's gonna bring?
Oh man, it's gonna be horrific. I
I
saw that and I'm like,
I have kind of decided I'm going for it.
You playing that much?
jeez, you know how many
Like
medals that's gonna be a day?
I haven't been playing that much.
Uh-huh.
But if we just look at the people in our clan, that is like a probably a 50th percentile active clan, right? So if I
Might be a stretch.
if I play, you think so?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I guess it
Man.
depends on how the emblem works. Is it active players this season? Like,
Oh, it's like 10% of like accounts in the game, or is it
Yeah,
10%?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, our clan has 96 people in it, right?
Yeah.
So that means theoretically, if I'm in the top 10 of our clan, then I would be, since our clan is probably average,
Okay.
then. So I don't know. I don't know how that would.
Yeah. It's gonna be. Yeah. I don't know.
The real interesting part is, are they going to tell you if you're in the 9th% or the 10th%, or do you just find out at the end?
Yeah, those are like somewhere like Charlemagne bot can find your number or something like that. Yeah.
But what if it's not accurate?
Mhm.
So I really.
Yep.
If I don't think I have my AirPods in here for you.
I'm gonna play 2 point.
Oh. You homies ready?
Yeah.
The Suns won. Thank God.
I really just need to go to bed. But... I mean, I could make it on sleep.
At one point, Chris Paul was 13 for 13 in the game.
Yeah, I was really hoping the Suns
Yeah,
would
it's
pull
ever
that
in
out.
there.
Because if they didn't, I think the Warriors were walking into the finals.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I love Luka and Dallas, but I don't think they have.
No, they're like a second player away. Like it. Can you imagine this team if like Kristaps would have been what Kristaps should have been? They'd be sick.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just wondering if Dallas will be able to pull off some kind of sign and trade this summer with Brunson. I don't know.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to pay. It's a shame they didn't pay him last summer, because they could have got him for like 4 for 50 probably.
Yeah. This is kind of.
They're not getting him for that now.
I think that I view people that's 6'2" and below in the NBA the same way I view running backs in NFL. Like they should never be a top paid player on your team. Except for there's
6'2".
There's a few exceptions.
Yeah, who would be the exception though?
Chris Paul.
I thought Chris Paul was bigger than that.
I think they list him as 6 or 6'1", but he's probably 5'11".
He's listed at 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably 5'10" then.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then Kyrie for most of his career, I don't know what he's going to be going forward, but I think they list him at 6'3", so he's probably actually 6'1".
Yeah, you're right. 6'3". Yeah, you're right.
Dame.
Who's closest in height to Kyrie? Chris Paul, Jay Butt. Jay Butt's 6'7". There's no way Jimmy Butler's 6'7".
They list him as a, you put them big, thick, double NBA socks on and some
Yeah.
basketball shoes. You jump up there.
Get you some. You forgot the orthotics.
And have they announced who the streamers are for the Guardian Games Cup?
No,
Okay.
no, they didn't.
Yeah.
So we'll probably find out from them, like if you follow them.
I didn't get an email, so.
Yeah.
Did you guys see all the Twitch stuff? Are we gonna save that?
It'll be a
Which
mailbag
stuff?
question. It's how it's rumored there are changes that they're making to their partner program and stuff.
No, it's
I
not
think
rumored.
I
It's
saw
from
something about that.
Bloomberg. If it's from Bloomberg, it's pretty official, I would
Yeah,
say.
probably. I just don't get why the streamers just don't play more ads to keep them satisfied.
People hate ads, man.
Yeah, so subscribe. If you're going to watch somebody for 30 hours a month, I mean,
I'll be real honest with you, man. I subscribe to one person and one person only.
yeah.
And it's also going to be my Halloween costume.
Oh, really?
So,
Yeah. You in
yeah, spoiler alert.
you in the Champions Club?
Yep.
Should we all dress up as Doc? All three of us.
Just man, that would be pretty hilarious.
I'll shave the beard off for it. He'll grow it back in 2 weeks.
You should be. What if you just draw tattoos on your arm and you can be Tim?
I can just get some tattoo sleeves or whatever.
Yeah. Wear like a Cowboys jersey or something. You can be Nick Merckx, Chad.
Oh, he totally can. But he's got to get some kind of vein that's popping through the middle of his head.
Yeah.
I could draw it Borderlands style.
All right,
You always have to look like. You have to look like this. Whenever we podcast, because that's all you ever see of him.
It's just from here up.
Yeah, because he gets so close to his screen that whenever he's playing, you just see. I don't know if it's on purpose or if I'm the only one that notices it.
No,
but it drives me insane.
Right there.
Down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just.
How can you game like that? I wouldn't know what to do.
I'm gonna have to.
Even with this, there's too much screen to.
I'm going to step up my green screen game if I'm going to be the Doc for a show.
Oh man. They usually have TwitchCon in San Diego, and I'm like, maybe I should go and see if I can meet some people this year.
That'd be rad, man.
Yeah. Because it's over at the convention center, and it's it's fucking right. It's right there.
Gotta get you some t-shirts and just pass them out.
Yeah. Connor's Corner.
If you go to the bathroom at the right time, Doc might come stream you. That's what he got all that trouble for.
And it'd be funny, like, hey, bro, you streaming here? Yeah. you need me to make some weird noises or something? Like, really weird you guys out or what? I stopped, but I could start up again. No, we're good.
All right, ready to let the dogs out?
Yep.
I guess so.
Listen, we need to figure out. We need to get our gambling corner thing going back again. We need more segments.
Do we?
We need more segments.
We only got, dude. This is the fourth to last week of the season, or fourth to last.
Then we
swap.
need to start. Then we need to start thinking about segments for next season.
I mean,
Whether
you're,
it's-
you're the idea man.
Yeah, I know. I
You
still
just
wish we
throw out
could
a
do
bunch of
this on
stuff, and we'll
chicks.
figure it out.
Oh, you wish we was doing that? Yeah.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Chad, you good?
Yeah. I'm finishing like the last paragraph or something, but I'm listening.
Everybody,
I'm here.
Did you get all that out of your system, Tiffany?
I said I'm not. Were you just not listening to me?
You know we're still live. We have a pre-show that's
Oh.
live.
Oh. Why the hell didn't you tell me?
Tell her it was Caroline.
We can hear you, Tiffany.
No, that was Caroline. All right, clicking the button now. We are live for episode 58 of the Gilded Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is Thursday, April 28th. I am NotRyanFox here with my fire team, Jared.
Man, I'm looking forward to this Guardian games. Rewards look to see to be interesting, and I'm ready for the Hunters to go back to back.
And the chronicler himself, chadocero.
I am very excited to spectate and just enjoy watching Jared and Ryan going at it.
And remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can take us on the road via Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us a bunch of friend requests, which will be in the description of this podcast. Join the Discord server so we can play games together. This week, the Dirty F and Hippie brought us the TWAB, but we'll hear more about that after we listen to the sweet intro music from our favorite Link, who you can find on Twitter at LinkOfTimeG.
All right, as Fox mentioned, Dirty F and Hippie brought the tribe this week, and she got some good news for us, and a lot of stuff going on in this one this week. So first of all, Guardian Games is returning from May 3rd to May 24th. So just as last year, we're going to complete contender cards and platinum cards to earn medallions for your team. Higher tier medallions you earn from raids, dungeons, and competitive PvP, so that's trials and comp. And then lower tier medallions are earned like through gambit, strikes, quick play, and throne world activities. Gold medals are earned from completing contender cards, that's easier activities, and then platinum medals are earned from the harder content. So basically, players you want, snatch pinnacles, scoop up some shiny medallions, and bring them back to the tower. So they kept it consistent the way it kind of what it was last year, which I think last year was pretty smooth, as in like the repetition of like go do some strikes, you get a gold medal, go turn it in, I'll go play some gambit, go get a new kind of bounty thing, and then go play it and turn it in. So that it seems good. But next they're doing a little bit of a new strike scoring in Guardian Games playlist, and they have a training and competitive mode. So there's 2 Guardian Games playlists: training and competitive, and when you play matters. And we're gonna break that down. So on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the place is going to be the training playlist. Here you can practice on the scores that you can have playing through the strike, and that's going to be combined for your fire team. But on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it's time to get sweaty in the competitive playlist. This is where you will earn exciting rewards. Players can earn buffs in the recreational, training, and competitive playlist by ranking bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And these will last until the very next weekly reset. You can use buffs in the regular Vanguard Ops playlist also. So the 2 playlists sounds fun. And as you go through here, it's going to be based on how many enemies you kill and how fast you get the strike done. So speed running and clearing ads out quick is going to be, I mean, it's kind of what you do anyways in strikes. And sometimes you just like go through and get them done, the strike done without clearing out any ads. So I imagine there's going to be some strategy behind there, right? All right. So
Yeah,
just like
I want to be honest here.
Yeah.
Like I read all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I like reread it, and then I read it a 3rd time, and I think that until I'm actually like have it in front of me working towards it, my brain just wasn't fully wrapping around all that stuff that they had kind of said in there. So I don't know. I'm glad it's changed up a little bit. It got a little stale last year.
Mhm.
So hopefully this will kind of get us moving around a little bit.
So kind of like last year, you had auroras around your head, I believe, right? Depending on what you did the week before, what place your class was in. So now it's going to be on your shoulder this time, and it depends on the torches you have lit in the tower, and it goes on your right shoulder of your guardian. So that's bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And lighting a torch is a monumental when it comes to Guardian Games experience. We want Guardians to feel significance in game. For any personal medallion deposits, there seems to be more glow action on the way, accompanying for your left shoulder glow as well. Any progress is an accomplishment, and we want you to feel proud for your time put in. So anything helps your class that you deposit in the tower, basically, and you get a little cosmetics to go along with it. Armor rise, armor looks okay. I wouldn't say anything's terrible about these classes, right?
No, I mean, I think I like the Warlock helmet the best, but that's probably because it's very similar to like the Rasputin stuff that I like the OG stuff. But it's very much like the original sets of armor from D2, like the vanilla stuff, just glowed up a bit, you know. So I mean, I like the Titan set. I like that it's the towel's glowy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like an actual, you can see through it, so that's gonna be neat. But if you look closely, you can notice the Warlock's holding up a moat.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna add like an actual thing, but could just be a drawing thing. But I like it. It looks neat.
What if that's a ghost?
It's
a ghost shell.
I know that's part of what I was thinking, but
yeah. So definitely the coolest things that I think have came out of Guardian games was the ghost shell, like you guys have mentioned. Was it last year? Like you had the snake wrapped around the hunter shell and all that, right?
yeah.
And then I think it was 2 years ago, the chest piece for the Warlock I really liked. It took some shaders really well, and I rocked that for about a year. And it was kind of cool because it was pretty unique from all the other ones. And I'll take a picture of it and post it on Twitter at Destiny CC Pod, so you can go there and take a look at it. I'll do that after the show. And it was if they offer it in the, sometimes they go to the archive and you can buy like the previous year or two event stuff. I would really consider it I got a lot of compliments. A lot of people asking like, "Hey, where'd you get that?" Because there's really nothing else that was like it. So I'll make sure to post a picture of that.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it's only silver or for silver or bright dust in the store. Do you remember, Fox?
I'm pretty sure it was like 6,000 bright dust
Okay.
for the set
Yeah.
and 1,500 silver. I think is usually
That sounds right.
going rates on that.
Okay. So if you got some bright dust saved up or you got your seasonal challenges done, maybe that's the route you take. So Guardian Games. So overall, the structure of Guardian Games is designed on your skill level. This means the higher scores are for the taking on the hardest activities, defeating enemies, staying alive, and completing that activity in a timely manner. So they're throwing out some words that I think Bungie sometimes don't want to do a lot, which throwing out skill level when it comes to how efficient players are getting stuff done and rewards behind that. So speaking of rewards, that's kind of like what most of this stuff boils down to is like, why even compete in Guardian Games unless you're getting something, right? So there's going to be a new SMG, and they're calling it Sub-Archetype. It's a Hake Void SMG aggressive frame with a unique origin perk called Classy Contender, which grants class ability energy on kills. Players will have many...
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Players have many opportunities to earn a master drop version with double perks in both columns 3 and 4. Also, you'll be able to earn class items and also Heir Apparent and its Catalyst will return, which previously that was the only weapon tied to Guardian Games. So this is the first time we're actually getting a legendary weapon inside Guardian Games, which is awesome. And you know, Void SMGs right now, it's like everybody loves them. You got Shuri's Wrath, you got Funnel Web, and you got Every Waking Moment that's actually getting a decent buff next season because the zoom's getting brought up on it, and now you have this one to really complete all your frames. So there's a Void SMG out there for you somewhere. You just have to go find it. Unfortunately, my guess is that this is only going to be available.
Killer. This one has awesome perks too that have leaked out from the API. So should we discuss it or not? Leave it?
Yeah, we might as well go ahead and tell the people what to look for.
Okay. So as a mouse and keyboard user, I prefer like range perks with my SMGs because you don't get a lot of like kick and there's not a lot of muzzle flash that really messes with you too bad. So I like extended barrel or full bore. I really like with mine. And then in the second column, you can get high cal, armor piercing, ricochet rounds, extended mag. I mean, there's a lot of like 5 out of the 8 are pretty solid there. I would probably look at probably really any of those I would be happy with, but probably ricochet or extended mag probably be where I would look. Jared, I look at things like PvE wise, so Jared could probably give you a better PvP option. And then in your 2 most important columns, you've got in the third column, you've got perpetual motion, which is always nice on the SMGs. You've got grave robbers, steady hands, hip fire, dynamic sway reduction, stats for all, or threat detector. So, and then in that last one, you've got focus fury, turnabout, moving target, one for all, vorpal, surrounded, or swashbuckler. And with that, you know, kind of what I was thinking as a like where I play warlock. And the class energy lets me have that rift up, and then if I have on like Boots of the Assembler or something, and that with a high recovery, like I should always have a rift available. So, I mean, it's something I'm definitely gonna hope to get a couple, probably at least 3 different roles of, probably like perpetual emotion vorpal, maybe like a perpetual emotion swashbuckler as well. Focus Fury could be interesting, but you know, that's not the one I would shoot for, but you know, I'd probably try it out and see what's going on. And then like stats for all, I mean, there's just a lot of different combinations. So I'm really looking forward to getting this.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. what the roles are, but just take what Fox is saying there.
I put it in Divinitizers, the Divinitizers chat.
Oh.
If you scroll up just a couple, you'll see it.
Okay. So Chad, overall, what's your favorite type of frame for SMG, and what do you look for between them?
I mean, I got very used to Recluse just because that was all we were using essentially for SMGs. And then there was a kinetic one. I'm trying to remember which particular one it is. But I'm not a huge SMG user. I'm
Yeah.
mostly hand cannon based off of my my love and joy.
Yeah.
But the Recluse is always gonna have a little special place in my heart. But there's one kinetic one that was
So
a Hake one.
there's a couple of different. You've got maybe like a friction fire, multi-mock, and then extraordinary rendition.
Yeah, this
Were
gun,
kind of the ones.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this one should do
Escape
a lot.
velocity, cold front.
Yeah.
Like those were the main kinetic SMGs.
Yeah, so I guess the 750s and the 900s were kind of
Mm-hmm.
either one of those where I was happy with.
The cool part with those kinetic SMGs, a couple of them you could roll them with overflow, like overflow Vorpal and stuff like that. So you could get some nutty magazine combos without having to reload.
yeah.
You could pretty well lay waste to a room, and be able to take do a lot of damage from distance, because those SMGs are basically auto rifles on mouse and keyboard. So
Yeah, if I'm gonna pick a wall for PvP, it looks like dramatic spray reduction with moving target is what I would go with for the most part.
yeah, and you'd probably look more at like stability, probably for PvP with the air stuff coming on, right, and the flinch and all that. There's a couple different ways you could roll some pretty decent stability on that in those first two columns. So that would be something I'd probably keep a roll of and see how it plays next season.
Oh, there we go. I was looking up. There was the Atlanta D back
Yeah.
in before I got Sunset, and then it had a Black Armory version.
Oh, yeah.
I remember playing a lot with it just because the Hake SMGs they felt nice. I like them, but I don't think there are any anymore. Because the Atlanta's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the other there's only one other one that it could have been. So it's Antiope.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah.
popular.
That was really popular,
Yeah.
really. But
As a year one weapon there.
Yep.
so I mean, I'm just happy that there's gonna be more Haka stuff. It is cool because there are foundry stamps on the armor too. Like the Hunter's got Amalon, Haka's on the Titan. I didn't see one on the Warlock, but
Yeah.
I can't tell.
It's probably
Vice.
Dido.
Dog, you mean Daito?
Yeah, same thing. We all know who it's after.
I'm sure there'll be some lore on those armor pieces.
Yeah. Did you guys see the lore on the SMG? I'm guessing not.
No, not yet.
Okay. Do you want to hear the lore on the SMG?
I will read it when it happens.
Okay.
No spoilies.
It's from your favorite boy. I'll put it that way.
Dado Wado?
Something like that.
All right. The last bit of rewards here. There's going to be exclusive emblem for the players that finish in the top 10% in the event. So we had a little this discussion in the pre-show. We didn't know if this top 10% are just like players with accounts in game, or it's players that participate in Guardian games,
or maybe players that were active this season.
Yep.
Or there's a couple different ways they could go with it.
the way they word it, it makes it sound like it's based off of the score or medals that you deposit for the week.
Mhm.
And then they can kind of categorize each person as who deposited the most medals or score per week throughout the event. And then they can just bump that in. Because if they can keep track of bullets fired and stuff, it's easy for them to track how many medals are deposited per account. So I'm pretty sure that's the metric.
So you think it's you think you have to at least play during that like 2 or 3 week span in order to count in the statistics?
I don't think it's play. I think it's deposit medals.
So you
Because
think
you
you have
could
to
play and
deposit
not
at
do
least one
bounties,
medal?
and you could ignore bounties completely, but then you're not getting the platinum points. You're not getting,
See,
But
that's very true. I guess what I'm saying is, so I have a real life friend that has started playing Destiny over like the last 7 to 10 days. He's at the point to where he's beat the campaign. He's like near the soft cap, near like I think they beat it on legendary. So he got like his 15-20 gear. And now he's all like, hey, what exotic should I be looking out for builds? He's playing Titan. So, we had a big text message conversation today. He's probably not going to mess too much with Guardian games. So if he never deposits a medal, because he's more worried about getting his power up and getting exotics and weapons and things.
yeah,
So
that's a big no. It's based off of the event. Just playing, it's gonna be based off of medals deposited for sure. But he's got to get heir apparent, dog. That's stapled to my Titan.
I mean,
It's
I'll
literally
tell him.
super glued to my Titan.
I'll tell him that. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, if he didn't have somebody telling him, like, here's what you need to do, here's what you should focus on.
Yeah.
Because right now I guess he must have watched a YouTube video or something about the Heart of Inmost Light chess piece. So he's like working towards that build on his Titan, and I'm like, well, that's great, but you also need to be looking for like Curus of the Fallen Star, Ursa Furiosa, Helm of Saint 14, Syntheseps. I kind of gave him the list there.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
The Falling Star might be tied behind.
It's a Lost Sector one.
Yeah, but it matters when it
Whatever.
came out. If what expansion you own or not, if you're going to get it to drop.
I'm sure that he's bought all the expansions,
Okay.
or if he hasn't, if he needed to, like for an exotic, like he would. Like I don't want to say money's not an issue, but if he's putting it towards a game that he knows he's going to play, then he'll spend the money for it.
Okay. All right. So, Guardian Games, he should be able to. If you're a new player, like you'll still be able to participate in Guardian Games and grind your pinnacles and stuff. Like if you're going to play your Crucible matches, get a Crucible bounty or two, go do Crucible and earn some medals while you're getting your pinnacle. And then same thing with Nightfalls and Strike playlists. So, it might just take an extra like minute in the tower to plan out your activity to get some of that. All right, along with Guardian Games is the start of a new event that is happening outside of Destiny. It's called Guardian Games Cup. And what this is actually going to be involved with some streamers. I'm guessing the majority of this will happen on Twitch. And they will form up a team from around the world, 42 teams across 14 territories in total, duking it out. And Hippie here is to show why Titans are the best. So I'm sure her and Chad share the same opinion here. So they're going to be competing probably in I'm guessing in a tournament style, as like they branch them out and like they finally just like they whittle them down until like the final few. So that'll be interesting to see what they have going on with that. I think it's always nice when Bungie does some of this stuff for the content creators, the community, to just like have their eyes and just thinking about something that's not in the game. Like they're almost creating new content with very minimal like input, So I think that's always a nice thing for the community. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about Season 17 weapons that's coming up here. And Chad, man, we're getting a pretty sweet machine gun here, right?
Yeah, we is. I mean, I'm just excited that there's a machine gun for once.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the ritual weapon. Obviously, you're gonna have 3 ornaments: Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard. I don't think they just call it its chain of command,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know much about it.
Nope.
It looks very similar to corrective measure, so I don't know if it's gonna be that archetype.
Yeah, you
I
never
want to get
know
my hands
about the
on.
You never know about the archetype machine guns. They kind of just they can all look the same, but all be different archetypes. So
Yeah.
um, so if you your dream scenario, Chad, what's your perk combination you're hoping this to have?
Oh man. I mean, Adrenaline Junkie's definitely been something that's been a lot of fun recently, for
Mhm.
sure. And I would like this to be very similar to Hammerhead as far as RPM goes, because that's
Okay.
my favorite machine gun. So an Adrenaline demo would be neat because it is seasonal. I feel like it should have something fun going on with it. So that heavy hitting machine gun with Adrenaline demo would be hilarious to me.
Mhm.
I would love that. Just get it down to like the bottom of the mag and just throw a grenade and just keep on it automatically reloading it. It just it'd be just raining pain on everything. Wouldn't even need a chest piece that auto loads for it.
Now, there's usually always introduce a few new perks every season, and usually the ritual weapon has 1 or 2 of them. So imagine that takes 1 or 2 of the 4 slots there, but just auto loading on a machine gun. That way, every time you pull it out, it's always there for you, ready to go. It's something I really enjoy. So I really hope it has auto loading on it. All right, and then we got some playlist weapons coming next season. With Crucible, we got Riptide, which is a fusion rifle. Gambit, we got a deadweight shotgun. And Vanguard, we have Strident Whistle.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bow, right?
Yeah, it's a bow.
If I remember right.
Yeah. So
Hopefully it's as good as Point of the Stag. That's kind of my hope. Like maybe like a solar version of that archetype or possible perk roll, or you know what I mean?
yeah,
That's kind of my hope. Or if not, because solar is the one we're lacking the most of, correct?
solar stasis.
Yeah,
Or
stasis, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
That'll be neat.
Not gonna lie, the Gambit was the shotgun, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I hope it's like the spiritual successor to Python. That's kind of
Oh my gosh.
my hope there.
Yep.
I missed that gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that gun was incredible. That was probably my favorite playlist weapon,
Oh man.
other than like Luna's Howl.
Yeah.
Like Luna's Howl.
Well, I mean, we can still take our
Slash Popper
sunset stuff
gun.
into old raids and things. So if we ever
Mhm.
feeling froggy, we can grab Recluse and stuff and just
Yeah.
hit up Riven.
Yeah.
Go to Garden of Salvation with Recluse Mountaintop again. And,
Oh, oh boy.
we got some Nightfall weapon change up here. It got Horror's Least coming back, which used to be from the Corrupted. And then
Yep.
DFA Hand Cannon also coming back, which was from the Nessus Strike.
It was one of the. I thought it was one of the Mars strikes.
No, it's
Uh,
DFA is from oh my gosh, is that not from Mercury?
No, it's from
yeah,
Nessus.
yeah, that's what I meant was Mercury. I'll look
Yeah.
it up. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so we're losing Plug One and Palindrome and replace them
Very
with
sad.
these. So at least there's still going to be a hand cannon in the chase because that's what the community really gets behind is chasing the hand cannon. Trials of Osiris. We're getting a sidearm named Forgiveness and a fusion rifle named Burden of Guilt. And then Messenger and Sierra's Wrath is going away next season. Man, you know about me and sidearms, and they can miss me with that. But fusion rifle, Chad, has potential to be really good.
Yeah. I mean, they've given us one stasis one, which is good. I'd like if they gave us another one, but yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm hoping it's. I mean, I want another heavy one. Like I
Yeah.
really do. I want a high impact real bad because they're my favorite, but nobody likes them but me. So it's probably going to be adaptive. They are making those fusion changes So there's going to be more of a differentiation in the fire rates and damage. So it's going to be interesting to see. And it's if it's Crucible one, I think hopefully they lean towards some Crucible perks that haven't been on any fusions yet. But it's going to be kind of, I mean, high impact reserves and is going to be always it's going to always be a choice.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm definitely excited. I'm always excited to see a new fusion, and I'm hoping to see some weird or fun perk combinations for PvP specifically, for sure.
Well, I mean, what if they put aerosol on it? I mean, it's an option that I think there'll be people in there looking for it then.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Next week on May 3rd, there should be an email going out for you to vote on the Trials map for the weekend of May 6th and forward. You want to make sure you vote by May 5th. And you have, it looks to be 3 options here. I think that's what are the actual names of this map that got laid out here? First one is Vostok.
All right. That's the Tree of Probabilities Strike on Mercury.
Oh,
that was the one that dropped DFA.
Oh, okay.
With Valasthoon. Do you remember the one where the Minotaur's there and it gets squished by the giant Cabal?
The laser beams. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one that's the strike that it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as I remember, DFA was a 140 RPM. So...
And it's a 2 burster, isn't it? Or is that no? That's never mind.
That's Warden's
That's
Law.
the one with the servitor. That's Warden's Law. Yeah.
I wish they bring that one back. It was a very unique weapon. All right, that pretty much does it for the TWAB this week. We did have a quick hotfix that went out on Tuesday, which we talked about a little bit last week. They nerfed Renewal Graphs and some ability changes, and one of them came out of nowhere, which is skip grenades for hunters. They reduced the damage per tick from 8 to 4 and decreased the tracking every 1 second and going to 50% of what they were after 3 seconds. So that's one they didn't talk about in the TWAB last week, and I feel like that was like the one kind of okay thing that was with Arc Hunters, and with this change, they're really nerfing Hunters. I felt like with the recent changes. So I'm going to look back from Beyond Light forward to all the exotics that Hunter has got and how they shipped crazy hot, but however they just got nerfed into the ground and nobody used them. So I'm going to think about that moving forward and trying to get a little rundown for you for that. And
it's also arc. It's an arc grenade.
Yeah.
And they're hitting it.
Yeah.
We got arc coming up, so they might have been like, "Hey, if we don't reduce this thing's gonna be an absolute monster." Because reducing that tick damage by half.
They weren't even that good.
And the tracking stuff was pretty nutty too, because they decreased it. Like once you got outside of like 3 meters, it decreased by like 50 or 60%. I want to say, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it did a lot with the tracking. Yeah. And
they nerfed Shaburu's Vow before you went into the season. Like I think the 30th anniversary patch nerfed those. So these seen very small amount of usage, and they got nerfed even more. All right.
Yeah, it's probably because there was just something stupid you could do with like the next thing coming, like Arc 3.0 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess it just shows that hunters are always Bungie's favorite character class, and they always ship them hot and then have to bring them down.
I think
really the only logical conclusion to draw from all this, in my opinion.
I think you're really just looking at it through the eyes of a warlock, and what happens is that they test the hunter the least amount, and they wait for the community to test them, and then they bring them down.
So you're saying that there's no such thing as a proficient hunter that works on Destiny? That's what I heard.
Maybe they moved over to the new IP and it's working on Matter.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Yeah.
All right. We took a break last week.
Are you trying to say that Bungie doesn't play their own game?
Nope. I didn't say that.
That's what I heard you say.
I did not. I'm saying they've been playing lots of games and working on lots of games. All right. We took a break last week, but it's time for Chado Lore to take it back.
Oh man, yeah, we definitely did. That TWAB was absolute, just a man-witch of a TWAB. So this week we're going to talk about the book Acts of Mercy. It's going to be a much more fleshed out version of the really cool video we had partway through the season, talking about Saladin and one of his past experiences with a young girl. And so it goes into much more detail about that particular encounter. So the first chapter is Violent Tributaries. Saladin awakens, not from sleep, nothing so gentle. From death? No, not yet. From lost consciousness. For how long? He moves to stand, his feet drift without friction. No ground below him. Falling. No, floating. Pine needles sway in a sea of surrounding green haze. Sunrays plunge through the canopy above and wash over him. His head is lost in the arbor's rose motion. Intermittent feeling prickles the skin beneath his tarnished armor. Saladin reflexively attempts to raise his offhand to summon Asira. Numbness responds. Instinct from reason. He twists to see the wound, nerves blaze, corkscrews through his neck. Panic. No need. Pain he could abide. Reality clarifies. The Iron Lord hangs from a branch run through his shoulder back to front. 10 centimeters thick. What good was his damn armor? Saladin traces a thick flow of blood down his arm as it breaks into tributaries before reuniting at his fingertips. Droplets pool some 60 meters below, soon to soak into a soil and fade. Beside the pool lay a splintered rocket launcher he'd forged from a reclaimed mortar, dropped when he lost consciousness. Saladin flexes against the axe strapped to his backplate. Wood grinds against his load-bearing collarbone. He grimaces as he lifts his head to gaze at the cliff above. Smoke rises from a burnt crescent impact, blown clean into the cliff's edge. A recent scar left by an artillery shell meant for Saladin's road cruiser. Raiders, he thinks. An ambush. He connects incident to meaning, someone looking to make an example of a lord who dared to venture beyond their territory. Radagast had warned him of risen thugs fleeing to the far wilds to escape from the Iron Lord's reach. He had told Saladin of their hostility, their lawlessness. Saladin could tame it. Binocular vision catches his sight over the smoldering cliff. Looking down in his direction, unfamiliar voices echo across the rocks. A figure calls out and others join them. Between the hacking coughs, Saladin counts half a dozen hostiles. His fingers ache with chill and his lungs sting as if coated in rime. He exhales unsteadily. For a moment, Saladin imagines Lady Yolder plunging through the clouds, booming with laughter. He imagines her obliterating the cliffside with a colossal javelin of arc lightning without hesitation. These nameless men die and she keeps laughing until Saladin joins. His near miss becomes an embarrassing story embellished around a campfire until another takes its place, and it is forgotten. Lucidity falters, and in his moment, he can almost breathe the ash, smell the stormy night air, feel the warmth of the fire of his friends, as real as worn memories rosed with age. Light condenses into Saladin's fingers. Arc lines fork across the bark as he grips the branch impaled through his shoulder. He hooks upward from his chest. Better to break it, he thinks. Fingers dip and scorch pulp. They bite in and twist. Wood pops and splinters as a bullet snaps through the pine canopy behind him. Then another. Closer this time as the sound of rifle fire echoes down the cliff face. Saladin focuses his light into the edge of his palm and slashes the splintered branch free, leaving him dangling on a stub of wood. He takes a shaky breath and swings a tingling leg back to push off the trunk behind him, bracing his boots to support his weight against the wood and lift his collarbone clear from the branch. His armor is slick with blood now, and he can feel a fracture in his bone, pain he can abide. He recites it as mantra. The dive to the ground below would be dangerous. Saladin prepares to push off and jump. A round strikes his armored torso, knocking the air from his lungs. His foot slips and kicks out violently. His weight shifts on the broken branch, caught his collarbone, sending fissures through his fractured bone. Saladin roars over gunfire, grips his shoulder. Isira, get me off this branch, he snarls. His ghost materializes before him. I taught you better than to rely on me, Isira reproves him. She swoops behind Saladin for cover. You're not dead yet. You're capable of this. Saladin strains to regain his footing. He lifts his head and wheezes as his lungs expand. Several figures above congregate around a large object. A blur of metal he recognizes as a flak cannon. I yield, Saladin laughs weakly. What would you do if I weren't here, Forge, if I'd been killed? His ghost taps the back of his head with a pellet of light. It's just you and your light, what little you have left. Him and his light against a weapon of war, but they were just men, and he, a fiend of fire. Saladin conjures waning starfire from his bones, the last vestiges of his will, burnt as offering to the light. Flame billows and radiates through his flesh, swirling through gaps in his armor, moving to consume the branch. Sap hemorrhages in hissing bubbles from the wood around him. Flames overtake the branch, joining those building from the Iron Lord's armor. Ash wisps upward in agitated anabatic wind. With a pop, he descends into a freefall. Branches snap against his legs as he picks up speed. Saladin gropes for the axe on his back with his good hand. As fingers find hilt, a solar light engulfs the weapon. He swings the axe from its strap and sinks the flaming blade into the tree, slowing his descent and carving a wake of sparking embers toward the forest floor. The pull threatened to rend him apart. He holds until he can no longer and plummets the final 10 meters, wreckage striking bedrock with a wet thud. Blood vapor steams from the charred forest floor around him as he comes to. Overhead, the forest canopy explodes with a flak shell detonation. Fragmentation whistles through the air, showering the forest with ragged chunks of metal. Saladin kicks off the trunk to his feet and rolls his ravaged body over to his rocket launcher. Muscle threatens to separate as he hoists the rocket to his shoulder. Saladin howls, a wounded beast's final challenge. He presses the split launcher shut with his forearm and welds the metal with solar heat before fumbling to find the trigger. Another shell booms. Dense pine canopy opens momentarily from the blast wave. Saladin sees a clean line to the ridge, takes aim, and squeezes. He watches the rocket fly as shard of flak iron carve lines through his face. Burning grass fills Saladin's nostrils like smelling salts. He stirs from the abyss into a new life, back pressed against a towering pine that smolders with heat. Saladin blinks blurriness from his eyes to see a crater of the cliff where his rocket struck. Good, he thinks, picking fragments of metal from his plate. Isira sinks through the smoke just overhead and levitates in front of his face, light still coursing through her frame. Welcome back. You lost, Isira says, her voice smooth as verglass. It was a draw. Saladin stands and fumbles with the talisman hanging from his neck. He tucks the stamped iron insignia into the gorget of his armor. They're dead, aren't they? There are 1,000,000 raiders in one of you. A draw is a loss. We need to do better than that. Saladin narrows his eyes and yanks his stuck axe from the scorched trunk and slings it. Fix what you break. You should have opened fire on the road without hesitation. I warned you. They were bait. How long were you going to rest your laurels on that prediction? Saladin groans. Do you have a plan from here? Continue sweeping east. The broadcast code might be Golden Age, but the signal was weak when we caught it. Can't be far. And our patrol can wait until we clear this up. Fine observation. I agree, the ghost says curtly, floating off ahead. Saladin looks up at the burning pine and uncuffs his gauntlet. Strands of ruddy leather stick beneath his nails as he removes the glove and presses his hand to the bark. This tree had likely stood for centuries, roots deep in the soil, branching, carving territory into the greater forest. So it was for many other trees. They all had their space, a crown shyness shared by old things. One born in this forest might assume this tree had always been. He feels the warmth radiating from the roasting heartwood above. Light still crackles in the ember-split wood, his light, left alone. It would destroy this old pine, consume it from the inside out. Saladin anchors the light to his core and commands it to return, dousing the burn. The tree will heal, and today's wound will fade. The gouge marks a point of struggle surpassed, and given enough time will fade into familiarity. Someone is coming, Isira reports in a quiet voice. Are they armed? Saladin whispers, hand slowly drifting to the haft of his slung axe. Before Asira can answer, a thin man in coarse linen fumbles into view. Terror paints his face as his eyes fall on Saladin. I have no weapon, the man says with a thick local accent, his eyes Saladin's equipment. You are an Iron Lord? Awe washes over the man's face. Asira zips between him and Saladin. Did you not hear the explosions? What do they teach you people out here? Many stray dogs fight here. The man's gaze dropped to the ground. Sometimes scraps are left after. Weapons? Like a buzzard, Saladin accuses. No, the man throws his hands in the air. Others steal from the village. We find weapons to fight back. I see, Saladin nods. Do you or your people have a radio? Asira asks. The man lets out a curt laugh before realizing the ghost's serious. Oh, no. Then this is a waste of our time, Asira whispers to Saladin. The man steps forward. Please, wait. Find mercy in your heart. He braces a hand on his thigh and takes a slow knee. Iron Lords protect people. You kill monsters. His eyes dart between man and ghost. You want payment? Saladin sighs. We're not mercenaries. Food, then. Better than what can be foraged here, he says, offering a blackened crust of bread from a twine rucksack. Cleaned armor and clothes, blankets, clean water, and good company by a fire. The man nods eagerly. Saladin turns the meager portion of stale bread in his hand. Between winter and latent radiation, reliable food is scarce here, making thievery into a grave offense. He knows the man is lying about their resources, but only out of desperation, the kind that sends you running toward explosions. What is your name? Ah, Kepri. I am Kepri. You said you were being stolen from Kepri. More than can be replaced. Last thieves came, the village lost Elmi. Kepri says, holding back tears. We will starve if thieves are not stopped. Show me. The man leads them down a lightly trafficked footpath marked by driven stakes, bearing illegibly worn highway signs. Southeast until the trees thin and then smell of muddled livestock and wheat overtake the pine. Asira and Saladin hang several steps behind Kepri in approach to a small and lightly fenced swine enclosure with a pathway bisecting it. Saladin notes the fence itself serves more to stop the three pigs from wandering off than to keep anything out. He quickly surveys a handful of rusted corrugated metal dwellings that wind out from the swine run and encircle a better maintained storage structure and longhouse. Besides the longhouse lies a humbled stable for a goat that chews at Saladin's sleeve when he passes by. The handful of families living here stand and stare as Saladin sloshes through the muddy entrance, Asira floating close behind. Kepri heralds the duo as saviors. The words feel coarse in Saladin's ears, but he graciously shakes the people's hands and takes their stories as evidence behind finding their thieves. There's a prideful nature to their expressions and the meager gifts they offer, the kind that comes from starting with nothing and arriving at something. Saladin couldn't help but smile at their perseverance. They took Elmi from Pen, Kepri says. Scared our goat. My son and I chased them, but they made off with her. Along with half the dried meat stores, he wrings his hands. Elmi is a pig, Saladin says flatly. Kepri nods, teary-eyed. Only girl hog. Without her we starve. Asira flitters close to Saladin as she emits a wide, sweeping scan from her shell. Forge. I doubt they're aware, but that Golden Age transmission is receiving a signal from the Longhouse. Now that's where I'm going to stop for here. The rest of it's a bit longer, so I'll save it for next time. But he's gonna find that girl, and we're gonna go on an adventure after that.
You know,
Nice.
I really enjoyed the what would that scene be classified as in media of the story in game? How they do like the frame, they just put a picture up and then they slowly
they've
move
called it something specific themselves.
Yeah.
I just can't remember what it is, and I've been trying to remember since I decided on doing this, but I can't.
And you asked me too fast. That gone. It's like something still, right? Because it's just like lightly animated photos.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's like still shots that are lightly animated. It's not full animation. I'm sure I'll think of it when I lay down tonight or when I take a shower in the morning. I'll think of what it's called.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, Bungie just do more of that. I think it's way better than like I feel like them animating a whole cutscene with like CGI and characters and having them move around and talking and stuff like that.
well, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's not say it's way better. Like I understand
they
it's
can-
cheaper and
Yes.
it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Like I understand that, but let's not act like it's better than
Okay.
a fully animated
Would you have like
CGI cutscene.
like
But
minute-
Bungie can't afford it. Let's not say that. Let's not act like
okay.
they're poor.
yeah, it's true. True.
But like compared to like what we've got in the past, which is like lore that you have to read on a website
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to in game.
Or
Like
listen
this
to Chad
is
the
a
Chronicler.
major. That's right. I would rather you listen to Chad the Chronicler. But that is better than nothing, which is what we have got a lot of in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. If that's all we're gonna get, which it kind of looks like, just because, like I'm sure I know I do this, and you know, if somebody reached out from Bungie to me, they would probably say that I expect too much, like based upon what the workflow is. The amount of work required to get like certain things is probably a lot more man hours than I anticipate. But you know, my thing would be, well, why don't you just contract that out? But that's not an option because it's not something they've done in the past. So, like you said, the first time I remember it was whenever Saint brought. You remember when Saint was whipping up on the Fallen that were in the like around the tower?
Yeah, when they were
Is
talking
that
about
the
their point of view of him.
Yeah, which was dope, by the way.
Yeah.
But was it that like was that the first time they used that style of like animation?
Yeah, because they used it that time, and then they used it in the next season to show right after you find out that Osiris is in Savathun, and it shows you another infographic or whatever it is of that, and then I guess this is the third one, right? But I love them, man. They're great.
This one was cool. This one was real cool.
Yeah.
I was pretty glued to the seat for this one. And whenever my buddy was playing, I was helping him because it's I think this guy might be our first interview, so I don't want to spoil a lot of what it is because he's coming in as like a lapsed vanilla player.
Okay.
Like he hadn't played since they switched to Steam, so he lost his entire account because he never migrated it from Battle.net over to Steam. Yeah. So he also lost all the DLC he had purchased up through Forsaken, and he lost all of his DLC because they switched platforms. So, anyways, what you have to do to even get to be able to do the Witch Queen expansion is a little convoluted and not super well explained. And I was like in a Discord group with him and in a fire team with him, and we got to that point, and I got to watch that cutscene again because it was like his first time through it, and he was the leader, and I was like, man, this is awesome. So I thoroughly enjoy it, and I agree it has much more of an impact, even though I'm sure it costs. It has to be what, like 10% the cost of the other at most of like a fully animated CGI cutscene. It's probably 5 to 10% of that, and you know it adds so much just having something playing with that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, let's get into this mailbag that we didn't go over last week. So, first question here: how close is everyone to getting those 66 seasonal challenges done? This is mainly what I've been working on this like week and a half, and I've been playing some Gambit and the seasonal challenges as playing a glaive, and then also get void action kills basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
there's like void Gambit kills, void Vanguard kills, and then I need the ornament from Crucible, the ornament from Strikes, the ornament from Gambit. I think only 2 of those are actual seasonal challenges.
all 3 of
And
them.
then I need, or all 3 of them are, so I need all 3 of those. And then I've got all 10 moths from I sat down and did all that, like
So
watched
proud
the
of you.
video and replicated it, but I have not done the warp, like the warp things. What's the other part of that one?
Yeah. The
Darkness, something, right?
you asked the question too fast. It's gone.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. What's it? Anyways, the little crack things you have to shoot. I haven't done those yet. So I have that one, the 3 ornaments, Void Vanguard, Void Gambit. That's all I have left. I think I'm at like 59 out of 66 or 58 out of 66, something like that.
I'm right up there. I just haven't done the Crucible stuff, and I'm only missing 2 of the ornaments. I'm really close on the Gambit one, but yeah, I'm working on it. This week is a Gambit week, so this is definitely going to be the week to get that done and don't have to play it again for the rest of the season.
My wife and daughter are out of town this weekend, so I am free, boys. If we want to team up and crank through a reset, or maybe get like, I don't know, give or take 24 wins.
Jared's like, he ain't talking to me.
that would be all right with me. But I know what I won't be doing, and I see that's kind of touched in a later question. I will get more into that later.
All right, next question. Bloomberg reports that Twitch revenue 50-50 instead of 70-30 for Twitch partners coming down the pipe. I'm kinda,
You want me to fill this? You want me to kind of give a little background on this before we answer? All right, so there's a Bloomberg article that comes out that says, so typically right now, if you are a big time streamer, like say like Asmongold or Summit 1G or Nick Merckx or one of those guys, so you have your revenue splits 70-30. So everything that you bring in, so a sub is like $4.99. So 70% of that goes to the streamer, 30% of that goes to Twitch. That's big streamers have that. Streamers that have been like partnered for a long amount of time before they switched is like that. And then there are also some streamers that, depending upon who your contact person was, there was some like under the table, like, hey, we're going to go ahead and give you this 70-30 instead of the 50-50. Somebody like us, we would have 50-50. We're not partnered on anything, but if we were, with our small of a following and those type of things, you know, we would be at a 50-50 because that's what most people have, unless you are A, big time, B, a long time, or C, have a connection to somebody that can give you the 70-30 deal. So what this is going to do, so let me back up. The other way, if you're streaming on Twitch, that you get money is by the ads that people run. So what they are looking to do is bring everybody, including these basically the top dudes that are this 70-30, they're bringing everybody down to 50-50. Their argument is like, hey, you can run more ads to, you know, offset this 20% because Twitch gets paid by the ad revenue more than they get paid by the subscription revenue. The bits thing that you can buy to add on that is basically like a pretty big scam, to where Twitch gets a lot of that, or the streamer actually gets very little of that due to like how it's set up. But in order to compromise, they're like, we're going to take you to 50-50. However, we're going to take away the exclusivity. So what that would mean is, right now, if you are a Twitch partner, you can only stream on Twitch. You cannot stream on YouTube. You can't stream on Facebook Gaming. Those are really the only other two that I'm aware of. But they would take that away to where now you can stream on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, but you're losing 20% of your revenue split. So, you know, it's kind of curious to see how that's going to work out, because, you know, a lot of people are upset about it. So that's kind of like the 2-minute TLDR of what's going on. There are people that have way more following and everything than us that can kind of explain it better. But that's from what I've heard from other podcasts and read and things. That's kind of the gist of everything going on.
I also heard a lot of people talk about like their individual deals. They are exclusive to Twitch. Like even if they did this to where you could stream on other platforms, like it's a per deal basis. So like, you know, like somebody like Nick Merckx, he has a deal where he is only on Twitch. He cannot live stream to other platforms. But like a lower partner, definitely would have that freedom. I kind of hard for me to believe that Twitch isn't making money, like the company itself.
Yeah, they're owned by Amazon, man. Like
yeah.
what? Like what else does
And
Bezos need?
My,
Like he's
my,
literally at the point where he's going to space.
my thought is that Amazon's like, hey, everything we do, we should be making this much % profit, right? And Twitch is not falling into that percentage for whatever reason. So, you know, Amazon, they make lots of money everywhere. And they're looking at Twitch, they're like, we're not making lots of money here. We need to make lots of money here too, because that's just what they do. And I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, and the other part of that is this can't be coming from people that are like connected with Twitch or in the Twitch ecosystem. This is coming from a boardroom, because in my opinion, they gaining the 20% of the revenue split of these people, you're going to lose more of that because people are going to start co-streaming to like YouTube, which is 70-30 to no matter who you are, whether you're a small time, big time, it's 70-30 to everybody. And like the CEO of like Twitch gaming, or I'm sorry, YouTube gaming comes out and is like, hey, we're 70-30. We're always going to be 70-30. You guys are the one providing the content. We're just hosting the content. You guys deserve the majority of the revenue. They're playing it like very intelligent, in my opinion, kind of like how Xbox has played, Microsoft has played Sony, like this console generation a little bit, kind of letting them dig their own grave and then just offering, like backwards compatibility, like these type of things. So, in my opinion, I think that it's a bad move, and it's not a move from somebody that would be in the know would do.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a boardroom move.
And the thing is like, does Amazon really care if Twitch dies? Because they have so much money everywhere else, you know? Like that's one thing that like might concern. If I was like my income was through Twitch, that would concern me. How much does Amazon really care?
Yeah.
All right, next question. What did you guys get accomplished in Destiny this past week? We got the Master Raid challenge done for Valor Disciple.
For last week, yeah.
No, we got that one done. We haven't did the one for this week yet.
I won 3 out of 13 trials matches that I played with a Sherpa. That's pretty fun.
Oh,
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Just
they were on base PS4s and didn't know that we were in PC lobbies. They said, "Oh, PC lobbies are easier than console lobbies," and that's when I knew I was in trouble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You said okay, 1v2 me, and we'll see how it goes.
Well,
You guys can't utterly demolish me.
That's not a good thing, because I am not. You guys know, like if I do good, we win every time. If I do bad, we can still kind of win. So I just need to do kind of good.
Yeah.
I'm a really good third man. But that's about it. And that map, man, that map,
Exodus Blue, yeah.
man, I did not want to do this. Trials it's cancer. It's so bad right now, man. It is so bad. This late in the season, that map, even though like the people I were playing with that were Sherpas, like they had like 20-ish, like flawless like lighthouse visits, which isn't much more than my amount of lighthouse visits. But they, the way it worked out was everybody we played was like a top 2% player, top 1% player, top 0.5% player. And we just got, it got pushed in. You know, I figure you can piece it together from there. It was just, there were a lot of 5-0s, 5-1s, like just not even remotely had a chance. It wasn't like every game was 5-4 and like whoever was running a high intellect and got their super the second time won. It was not like that. It was, you knew in the first round, like, well, this one's over, you know? So it's, you know, it was not a fun time. And I won't go back until probably next season, the first week or second week of the next season.
Yeah.
That they have got to do something with trials.
Yeah, I think, well, what we just need to accept is that trials needs to be a loot grind, and the competitive playlist is the only place to where it is actually a sweat fest, and that's what they need to change it to, in my opinion. We talked about that a lot, but I think Destiny needs a top 500 aura or like a time gated emblem to where like it's in a 2-week window. If you're in the top 500 for that 2 weeks, you get something special that's going on with your character that you get to have it for 2 weeks, and then it turns over to the next batch. So
yeah, and I was playing on a Sunday night, so like the flawless pool was active, and you know we'd face people, and you know they're 42-2 on the weekend.
yeah,
You know they've got like 19 consecutive wins, but but they're still in like the non-flawless pool.
Yep.
So man, I'm about at the point where I say, F it. If you have 7 consecutive wins at any point, like you're in the flawless pool at that point. Like I saw that and I was like, hey, what's the downside of that? You know, so that's kind of how I feel.
yeah. To me, I think they just take away the ability to reset a card.
That's also an interesting thought process. I don't know. I saw somebody say in a group that you should have to go visit Saint 14 every time you want to reset and pay 25,000 glimmer. And I was like, man, what a joke. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. See, I just think it should you should get a passage, and then you can slide a buff into the passage. So you get the mercy buff, you get the extra +1 win buff, stuff like that, and to where it just goes on your last 7, 6, or 8 games played, and it just like keeps filtering it through. So like even if with a loss with a mercy, so you won 4 games in a row, and you lost 1, and you kept on going, and you won 2 more, you're 6-1, but then you got your next loss. You can still start working towards back to that 7-1 because you already got that 2-1, so you can win 5 games in a row after that loss, and you go flawless.
Right. Oh, I want to shout out our boy Wesley. I did help him hit 5,500. He's trying to go for his unbroken, and you know what, you have to hit that legend rank of, it's actually 5,450, I guess I should say. And so we got him to that point, and by we I mean basically unknown helped him, and I was there as moral support and to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, I was just there. For whatever, my CSR is lower than my actual skill level, so when I try and it's 3s, I can do pretty good. I can outplay my CSR. So that's about all I'm good for in Crucible. I'm terrible at 6s because I just get like ADHD and do not pay attention whatsoever while I'm playing. But 3s keeps my attention because it feels the most like Team Slayer of like Halo 2, Halo 3. So for whatever reason, like 3v3 is my preferred game type. So all right. Next question. Collective obligation seems to be in need of a buff. What would you do?
I don't know.
Jake,
It doesn't
what do you
exist.
think? What did you do?
It doesn't exist.
Well, yeah, it doesn't exist for Chad. We all know about Chad RNG and the things it does to you. It breaks your spirit. So it leeches, the void, bust the volatile, and the weakness, that kind of stuff. Whenever an enemy has it, and I was just trying to think. I was like, how would this be good? Whenever like it's not the void season that's going on, so you're gonna really have to like spec into it. And my thought is that if you have no buffs with the weapon, you get a kill, then you get volatile flow for like 7 seconds. So it's almost, or like maybe just 5 seconds. So it's almost like kill clip, and that's kind of just built into it. I think that would help with it.
So is this like this is the exotic raid pulse rifle, right? I can't even remember.
Yep.
So I've had so many I can't even remember what the name of it is.
Yep.
But what I sorry, Chad. What I would do to fix it, I'm not even sure if this is possible, but the weapon should match whatever subclass you're in. So if you're in a void subclass, it's void. If you're in an arc subclass, it's arc. And what that's going to do is when these new subclasses come out, it's going to give you whatever perks kind of come along with that for that. And maybe this would probably be a little too strong, so maybe you couldn't do this, but maybe if you get 5 consecutive kills or 3 consecutive kills, you can choose it like automatically does the thing where it weakens enemies to take more damage or something like that. But whatever, but what is that debuff that does that? Is it weaken?
Yeah, you got weaken, suppress, and
official
volatile.
Yeah, so let's maybe you can choose, like by holding the reload button or whatever, you can choose which of those you get, but maybe like you don't have those in arc, that maybe those are only void things. So without knowing the full suite of the subclasses that we're getting, but my main thought is it matches whatever your subclass is, or you can like scroll through it, like say like Borealis or Hardlight, and then you can take advantage of whatever goes with that.
Any thoughts, Chad? What, just up the drop rate?
Yeah, definitely that one. I mean, its effect of absorbing those abilities is neat, and it's cool from like a playtesting perspective. It makes it so you can use those things when you're not running a void subclass, which is cool. Like being able to get volatile on a gun, like we have volatile rounds on everything else, but being able to prime everything else for just explosions or weakening targets is cool. But it's really just so that you know, it's a showcase of the abilities without having to be a specific subclass. As far as buffing it, making it easier to use would be like, because what is it? You have to like kill a target with the that's hit by that particular effect, right?
You just have to shoot the target. It's whatever
Shoot the target.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to like hold the reload button to turn it on, basically.
Like everything else.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's awful. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's really convoluted. Like it's something that you have to like consciously be looking at to do.
Yeah.
It's not something that like it does passively, which in my opinion would make it much better if it just passively did that. I understand.
Like auto refresh the timer on shooting something else. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not something like that at all. It's something that you kind of have to pay a lot of attention to, which I don't. It's hard for me to say because my main enjoyment of this game is like the hard content, like the in-game content. So, and this gun is pretty near useless in that in-game content, so I don't use it a whole lot because I'm not one to just sit and grind a strike playlist. I would rather, shove needles into my eyeballs than to sit and run 20 or 30 strikes consecutively. So, and those are the places that you would really most likely get the most use out of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, you kind of
Yeah, I think passive would be crazy. If it's like even if the timer was small, but it was just passive, like 5 seconds. You have 5 seconds on that ability to use it until you shoot another person with that same ability for this to absorb and start firing it. Because right now it's like you activate it and it's like 20 seconds, isn't it? Of time where it's using the abilities.
I think it's 10,
It's something that's pretty decent.
It's 10 or
10 seconds.
10 or 15, and then you have a cooldown.
No, wait, 15 sounds right.
Then there's a cooldown afterwards where you can't build it back up.
Yeah.
So like you can't keep shooting the same target and like trading a buff on and off of it.
Yeah. But like, what if it was like a passive for 5 seconds but it rotated?
Yeah.
So like, if you shot someone with weaken, you can't shoot them to re-up it. You got to shoot somebody else with a different one, and it just like you can constantly have them cycling.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But only
like 5 seconds on, like 3 seconds off.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps doing that.
They don't want that going on in PvP.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the chance of you getting it to proc and then like reloading it to get it active.
Yeah.
I would never be able to.
How about we just get rid of 6s and just go and just do that?
Yeah. I mean, Overwatch did it. They're going to 5s, so why can't we do it?
Yeah.
Let's just go to 4s, and we can have like Slayer, Oddball, Capture the Flag. Assault.
Oddball.
Every playlist is ranked.
Capture the ball to earn points.
Yep. All right, looks like we got one more question. Which raid is coming next? You've been awful flip-floppy.
I don't think flip-floppy is a word to ever sent this in. First of all, I know that Chad had I was all with Chad because I know Chad's kind of been a Wrath of the Machine guy, because we've had a couple of the things where we're carrying like the big parts, like the Death Zamboni. Like, remember when you had to carry the engine and the stuff for that? There was that. What was the seasonal event last season where you had to carry the stuff up the hill?
The batteries, yeah.
Yeah. So
and it happened on the first mission of this story too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't know, man. They've put that in there, and I was like, you're probably right, because I feel like Siva's coming next season or the season after, and there's been a little bit of hinting towards that. From what I've seen other people say is in the lore on Reddit. That's not Chad. This is stuff I've seen kind of on Reddit and the Twatter. So with that, even though the smart money is probably on Wrath, I'm still going to go with King's Fall.
Oh, the smart money is on Wrath now? I was always the weirdo being like Wrath the Machine.
It's probably because you get really good odds on it right now.
And the main reason is that it's shorter. It's a shorter raid.
Yeah. It has like one less encounter, and one of the encounters in Wrath is like a pseudo encounter. So yeah, that makes sense.
You have like that opening encounter where you're like throwing the balls. Then you have like the television encounter, Death Zamboni.
No,
and then
no, you got the priest first. You got opening, priest, Zamboni.
That's what I call the television encounter, because you got to shoot the televisions behind them.
Then you got the jumpy, or you got the maze, whatever. Not even a maze, barely a maze. And then you have the two boss phases. Yeah.
Which is if they're bringing raids back, I would imagine it's going to be a shorter raid, because it's just easier work, and because I guess we're basing this off Vault. This is like a free raid. This isn't a paid raid.
Yep.
So
it's going to be King's Fall. I mean, you can try to convince me every way. It's going to be King's Fall.
So
too much orcs talk.
Only thing that Yeah. It has been brought up a couple times. I guess the main thing that I would lean against Wrath of the Machine, other than like, I still think Siva's coming back, but we already have Outbreak. So would they give us a different exotic from that raid, or how would that work out?
I don't know.
Give us the machine gun
I'm not.
version.
The machine
Yeah,
gun version.
yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, the machine gun that's in the raid just becomes Siva-ified
Sheesh.
as an exotic. That'd be dope. I'd be all
Yeah.
for that. But I mean,
Alright, well-
they would not bring Touch of Malice to this game. No.
Everybody thought they'd bring
especially
back
with
Smith
WoW.
class Pat, but they did.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Now we have
Touch of
wells
Malice is
that we can
weird.
stand in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we
Being
just
able
had
to hit for
bubbles, so you had
2
to pop
times
in
the
and out of the
damage.
bubble.
We have that damn fire weapon.
No, but that it doesn't increase your damage that
You're
much.
talking about Tommy's matchbook.
Yeah, Tommy's
Yeah.
matchbook. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Touch of Malice doubled the damage for that last bullet as long as you were willing to die for it.
Yeah, which I was.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah. As long as someone's holding
we
a shield over me, we're
we have
good.
to get more we have to get more weapons of sorrow, right? So
Oh, I do have an idea. We'll save it for another time. But I have an idea for Bones of AO, how to bring it back. So
Oh
It's-
baby.
we wait till next week, or you gonna do it now?
No, next week.
All right.
All right, next week. All right.
Make it up.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. We are at the end of the mailbag section. We're trying to keep these things a little bit lighter than last week. We're at like an hour 20 right now, which is a little more than we want to be, but we're pretty close. So make sure you follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Join the Discord. Subscribe on all the places, and I'm gonna let these two jokers sign off.
Well, good luck trying to get that top 10% because you know the Destiny sweats and the PvE sweats are going to be out there trying to get it. So good luck trying to get top 10.
I'll be here to support you in your time of need. And then laugh when you don't get it.
Go Cats! Love you guys.